Firstly, I'd just like to introduce myself. I'm Trevor Shoemakers, head of accounting at accountants at Hub One. I'm an accountant like you guys. Most of you people on the call, basically a user of this product, and um, I'd like to introduce to you our Office 365 guru, Roland Leggett. He's going to join me on the call and on all of our calls going forward. So, Roland, you there?
Yep, thank you very much, Trevor. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us. As Trevor said, currently we're going to be using voice over IP for this session. As of today, dial-in conferencing and PBX integration is available in, well, it went on global release today, which means hopefully next week we'll have it all set up. We actually configured it this morning first thing because we were on some special preview group, and hopefully next week we'll have all the dial-in conferencing working for us. So it's the thing with the cloud, and this is kind of the stuff we're going to talk about today, is that new features and functionalities are added all the time. So some of the stuff that Trevor and myself are going to go through today are things around increasing your productivity with features and functions that you didn't even know they were there. I often look at things like Excel, and I think to myself, people probably use about 10% of the functionality that Excel has. And it's not because they don't want to use it. People desperately want to use it. The problem is they don't know what they don't know. Yeah. And I mean, that's something that you often say, Trevor, I don't know what I don't know, right?
Yeah, and this is why I'm so excited about having this session. I've been talking to a lot of people about getting this session up and running, is that there's so many times I'm doing things, and experts like yourself and Nick from our office and our support guys will often have a bit of a giggle at me and say, why are you doing it that way? Didn't you know you could do it this way? And I'll go, oh, you're kidding me. I've been doing it this way for years and I didn't even know that existed. So we're going to have a look at a few of those things on a week-to-week basis. So every week we're going to come on at this time and run one of these sessions. We're going to record the sessions and put them on our website as well so that you can have a look at them later on. And the sessions we're going to try and keep a theme going for these sessions. So we're always going to come up with 2 or 3 different technical tips that we found, the highlights probably of my week, and especially now as we start to look at these, I'm finding out more as we go through. We're also, every second week, we're going to be looking at an in-depth look at a particular product, and I'll talk to you about next week's particular session, so we can do that. We're going to bring in experts, special guests, where we're going to have a look at some hardware and do some technical reviews on some hardware. And we're also going to have a session where we bring our support team in, where they can talk to you about the top issues or releases that have happened throughout the month, so that you guys can keep ahead and keep abreast of those issues that are going on. This is all part of 365 and 365. Roland, do you want to talk to me a bit about or talk to everybody about 365 and 365 and what we're doing with that?
Yeah, thanks, Trevor. So, Trevor, 365 and 365 really stems from some of the conversations we've had over the last year. And, the thing that you say, you don't know what you don't know. And I often tell people the 7 most expensive words in any organization are, that's how we've always done it. And I think that those sometimes people do not do things the most efficient or effective way. And to that end, we've been working on a program around empowering and upskilling people. We've got this dream about empowering one global collaborative workforce. But we found when we started to do lots of training with people, we were like, okay, we want you to come on a 2-day course about increasing productivity. And people were like, well, I'm so busy, I don't have time to do a course about increasing productivity. The irony of that is beautiful. But the fact that people will be so time poor in modern society, any application or device that is going to help us in this time poor environment is something that we latch onto. We see that in disruptive technologies, online shopping. Why do we do it? Well, not because it's maybe a better experience. We like to actually feel and touch the product before we hand over our hard-earned cash. Why do we do it? Because we're time poor. And it means at 9 o'clock at night, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can go online and do my Christmas shopping. That's it. So anything that will help us around saving time is normally latched onto. So what we've been doing at Hub One is we've developed a year-long program to teach you in 365 days all about Office 365. So 365 and 365 is this subscription-based mentoring, change management, and training course where we send out little bits of information to you every week, 3 to 4 bits of information. We do webinars or video podcasts like this, and it's a lot about just-in-time learning. So you're not getting a monolithic 3 or 4 day course that you're going to be doing. What you're going to be getting is a little bit of information here, a little bit of information there, and be fed bits of information, like the tips and tricks we're going to show you today. I mean, these are some of the things that, Trevor, we've spoken about, where I've said, hey, Trev, you could do it that way, or, this is how the idea of these presentations came up, was looking at our own team and seeing that there were better ways of doing different things. So what are we going to talk about today, Trevor?
Okay, well, firstly, before we jump into that, everybody who is on our subscription program, so all of our subscribers, are able to be a part of the 365 and 365 program. If you'd like to be a part of that, could you just email sales@hub1.com, and we'll make sure that you're included in it. If you're not a subscriber, you can subscribe just to the 365 and 365 sessions and the articles and information. You can do that. Now, I'm going to try and post this, Roland, and tell me if it goes out to everybody, is a link to subscribe to that product. Hopefully that went out to everybody. Now, what is so cool with this product, it's $1 per user per month. So it's designed to be really cost effective to get it on. So you can share that with anybody else out in the marketplace if they would like to join in. These sessions are going to be available not only to our subscribers, they're going to be available on the market, but the particular articles and so forth are going to be available to all, only to the subscribers from the 365 and 365. So join in and get in that. So let's jump into the first session. The first thing that I had, my first aha moment this week, was I was actually setting up the invitation for today's session. So we're learning how to use Office 365 and setting that up. And in Excel, I wanted to do a basic task, a basic list of people. So I'm going to bring up on the screen, and I'm sitting there with Nick. I think we're in a coffee shop working away or doing something. And I said, here's a dummy list of clients that we've got here. And I said to Nick, I said, I've got to go through and do data and table it. And he goes, don't you know you can format that as a table? You just click the format as a table button, and it went through, and I can use all these pretty colors to lay it all out, and it formats the entire list as a table. And I can then go and search that list and do whatever I want with it and use my data filtering to work within that. So I can just pick out my New South Wales clients, for example. So that was my first aha. Now I'm going to get Roland, because I was showing Roland this, and he said, oh, Trevor, that's nothing. I'm going to show you something really cool. So he's going to take over the screen, and he's going to show you something even more amazing than what I just showed you then. So you should see his screen in a minute.
Yep. All right, thanks, Trevor. So yeah, I love that, being able to format the content as a table. Styles and format as a table are a couple of things that I think everybody needs to know in Office. And we're starting with Excel because most of you guys are accountants, and this is where you spend a lot of your time. So the two things that I want to show, really, the first thing is a feature that came out in Excel 2013 called Flash Fill, and the second thing also came out in Excel 2013 called Quick Analysis Tools. So what I've got over here is I've got a spreadsheet, and it's a classical type of thing that you download from an Amex file or something. Over in column B, I've got some fairly raw data, and this is expenses for the month of June. I can see John's been spending money on advertising. Jenny's been spending money on events. We've got some digital marketing money from Bill, some promotions from Sally. So that fairly raw data from column B, what we normally try and do is we try and pass that over into column D, for example. So in column D, if I do it the manual way that I would normally do it, which is to start typing in John, he's spending money on advertising, I down arrow, I start typing in Jen. Now, as I'm typing in Jenny, what we can see is column D has almost done a VLOOKUP, for those of you who are familiar with an HLOOKUP or a VLOOKUP, a vertical lookup in Excel. It's quite a complex thing to set up, but it's gone over and it said, I can see there's a pattern here. You're taking the information that's fairly raw in column B and passing it across to column D. So it's given me the option to flash fill the remainder of the column. So instead of having to type Bill, Sally, Paul, I just hit enter once it's given me the option to flash fill, and it will fill in the remainder of those columns. By the same token.
So, Rob, you didn't do anything with that? You didn't have
No.
You just started typing in and as what you saw the trends, and it picks up those trends for you?
It picks up. It's saying, I can see in the spreadsheet that we've got information that's been passed. So, for example, if I start typing in advertising over there, advertising, yep, spelled right, down arrow, I start typing events. Straight away I can see again that I'm pulling information from column B, passing it off into column E. So it's given me the option. I just hit enter there, and it's flash filling the remainder of those columns for me.
Wow.
Now, that's impressive over the 20
cool.
rows that I've got there, but if you've got 20,000 rows, it's life-changing, seriously, because it's the mundane tasks that make our job stressful. You know, it's those repetitive things. And I mean, that's our goal really at Hub One, is to try and remove that repetitive nature of work. The other thing I can do with your columns there is if I highlight this range of cells, so I go over to cell B3 and I highlight all the way down to E23. If it wants to highlight for me, come here.
Oh, the mouse is
Sorry, this is me not having a proper mouse in here, but anyway. One of the options, come on. We did do a trial run of this and it worked beautifully.
Yeah, this morning, but Roland's in a hotel, so he's living the dream, and on the road. So 365 in 365 is exactly like that, and unfortunately we've got to make sure we bring a proper mouse with us to do this.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, come on. What about you just highlight the whole
The
lot?
demo gods.
The demo gods are killing us today.
You know what it is? I've got my Surface and I've run out of USB slots in my Surface because I've got a headset in. All right, so down here, once we highlight a range of data, you'll see a little box appearing on the bottom right-hand corner, and that says Quick Analysis. So use this Quick Analysis tool to quickly and easily analyze your data. That's obviously the data that's highlighted. If I click on that, it'll give me options to format that data. The first option is formatting it as data bars, color charts, icon sets, what's going up, what's going down, greater than tabs. The second option is to create a bunch of charts for me. On those charts, I can quickly get a graphical representation of who's spending the money, what they're spending the money on. I can also go to totals. Some people think that things like at sum are the pinnacle of what Excel can do, or average or count.
That's just
That can also do tables, like you were formatting as a table there, Trevor. I can click on tables here and choose to quickly and easily create pivot tables so I can slice and dice that data. Now I've got a pivot table I've created there. I can say, all right, I want to see what money's being spent on advertising. And it'll then slice that information up for me and tell me what's been spent on advertising.
Yeah, that's just saved me at least half an hour to an hour a week. And you add those up, it just gets out of hand. I think even more, probably more importantly, I'll come up with some much better template spreadsheets than I've done in the past for reporting to the board and doing board reports. So that's an example. So I sat there yesterday, thought I'd found something pretty cool called formatting as a table, and Roland took it to a new level. And we're going to get lots of that as we're going through. So I'm going to hide my stage. Now, one of the things that I've always said and people just don't realize is available, and we talk about when we're using Office 365, that Word 2013 is a PDF editor. So what I've got on the screen, hopefully it's going to come up in a second for you, is the ability to open a PDF. So this PDF is a tax ruling that I've got. And all I need to do is click on there, and you can see I get the options in. I want to open with Word 2016 rather than in PDF, and it's going to open up. I'm just going to bring it up. It's opening up on my screen now.
Yep, I can see it.
It's not doing
So this PDF per parts a function in Word, guys. What it'll do is it'll take a PDF, provided that it's not locked, so that you can't have something that's got all the security in there. But something like a boarding pass, for example, if you do it, I do it just for a laugh. This demo Trevor's doing now, I often will take my boarding pass when I'm traveling and say, all right, guys, let's say I want to upgrade to gold. I open the PDF in Word and then change my membership status of the PDF, which always gets a laugh from people.
But this is a really good example. So we've got this PDF, and we might want to grab certain parts of that ruling out. So rather than having to type it and use a expensive PDF editor like Adobe, which costs $500 a year or something, we can grab these sections out and nice and easily copy and paste them, or we could even put a covering letter on the front of it using a covering letters and save it down, and we've got it there. And we can also then save that back down as a PDF if we want to, or we could share it out using email, and it will convert it as a PDF as well. So it will convert that straight through. So we've got all that functionality that's in there that the PDF editor works on. So not only is it reading, for reading PDFs, which you get free PDF Reader, but Adobe charge you $500 or more for the additions of PDF editor to be able to go in and doing that. And then there's MyOb PDF editors and all of those sort of things. And that's all now built into Office, so Word 2016 and 2015. I know a lot of you may have had that before, but if you can get one little tip out of what we're doing today, that's pretty cool. Now, Roland, we were working yesterday on doing emails out to people, and one of the things that I had, and we are getting really close to time, so we're going to probably only got one more thing that we can do, is what we call, so let's say I've got that email that I just did then, and I wanted to send that out as an email to a bunch of clients to say, here's a recent ruling or something like that I wanted to send out to there. We could do a mail merge, but Roland was showing me something called Quick Parts, where I can create a really quick information. So do you want to run through that with me, guide me through that, or you're going to take control?
I'll tell you. Yep. Okay. I got it now. So guys, a lot of this is about doing the same task over and over again. Okay, so if you've ever got an email to send out, like we're sending out emails yesterday, so I'll say this is repeatable content, okay, blah, blah, blah. All right, so this is an email that we send out to loads of people.
One of my emails, the spelling's
I know the spelling's atrocious, okay. I'm trying to rush through it. Okay, repeatable content there, I'll spell check it. But this is what I do. I'll create an email. Then I highlight whatever it is that you want to repeat. So I've created a new email here. In the body of the email, I've typed what it is that I want to repeat. And then I'm going to go to Insert. Over on the right-hand side of the screen, next to your text box and word art, is a thing saying Quick Parts. Okay, and you can see I've got a couple in there already, but I can say Save Selected to the Quick Parts gallery. And I'm going to, let's call this Content. So I've given it a name. Essentially what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm building a macro into Outlook, okay? So if I click OK there, if I go into any email from now on and start typing in content, what it's done there, as I type in C-O-N-T, okay, it said, this is repeatable content, blah, blah, blah. And I can keep doing that. Every new email I go into, I just type, and it just punches that repeatable content into the email. So if I went to create a whole new email, it would still be there. There are my quick parts. So I've just injected another one now, which is an invitation. So that was an invitation. The formatting's not great on that, but there was an invitation. So you build up this quick parts gallery of repeatable content.
So is it templates, Roland, or is this different?
You know what I find? People use this for invoicing, for quotes, stuff like that. You know you need this if you've got multiple signature files. That's generally the person I find who uses this the most, because signature files are not designed to do this, but they can, and it's a workaround. So what I end up finding is people use the workaround of multiple signatures, like my signature down here, and say insert a signature. There's a feature for it called Quick Parts.
Yeah, and I was doing invitations the other week, and it was I thought it was pretty cool that I built an invitation template, but for me to create that email and send it out was just taking too long to do. So Roland, we had one other thing that we really wanted to show, and I might just really quickly jump into it and give everybody a quick look at it if I can, and then we'll close today's session off. So this one is amazing, and it's called Open with Explorer. So for all you guys, this is SharePoint, Office 365, and I'm in my document library.
You need to present that. I can't see that at the moment.
Sorry, see?
That's all right. I just stopped presenting, so there's nothing on the stage.
That's why I asked what is it? I need you technical guys to make sure keep me on track on everything there. So I'm just going to make sure I can present that. Sorry about that. And this is amazing. This is, again, another thing that's changed my life. So for me to go in and move and change and edit a document in SharePoint's really clunky and difficult to use. And one of the guys from support says, why don't you open that with Explorer? I said, what do you mean? And I went through and I couldn't find every time he did it the library. So what you have to do is you just click on any folder in a field that you want, or number of folders that you've got there, and then up comes the library field. And in the library field, there's a feature called Open with Explorer. Now, sometimes it won't work straight away. So sometimes it will jump in and ask you to sync. Don't sync it, just go back and do it again, and just keep doing it till it comes up. But what you can see is those folders now are there. So I can open up Ben's folder, and I can quickly go, oh, gosh, I've created a whole heap of these documents. And you'll know, Roland, isn't it? It's a little bit clunky to go and delete documents in SharePoint, but I can quickly go and delete those, and it's happened and it's completed, and it's going through and it's going to complete and delete those documents. Normally you've got to click on the ellipsis bar and go through and click delete. I can move them. The other cool thing is I can bring in big, multiple folders into SharePoint using this. So you can't normally upload a complete folder into SharePoint. So I could go and grab a 2014 folder from somewhere and drop that into my SharePoint folder really quickly and really easily. So another little tip that's changed my life and made my life using SharePoint a lot easier from there. So we're going to have to wind up now and finish up. I know there's probably heaps of things there. Bobby, thanks. I just didn't get a chance to say that, but one of the guys was giving Roland some tips back, and that's what we're looking for, guys.
Yes.
Is if you know something and you find something that you're struggling to do, drop me an email or Roland an email, and we'll try and add it into the next session. Or more importantly, if you find something that you found really easy and fast that helped you and changed your life, share it with the guys, because we're all about active-based learning and sharing things together. So we're going to finish up now over the next few months. So again, if you want to get into the 365 and 365 program, email us at sales@hub1, or see if you can, or sign up using the link below. It's $1 per user per month, but it's available for free to anybody on our subscription program. Coming up in the next few weeks, so next week, Nick Beaujard, our CEO, is going to be on the call and talking about Power BI. And Roland, Power BI is amazing, isn't it? It is just absolutely crazy.
Really, there's so much information out on the internet at the moment and out in the cloud. It's all about, like we put in the slide there, it's not about big data, it's about big analytics. If you've got lots of data and you can't pull it from Xero, you can't pull it from SharePoint, XPN, CRM, Navision, all of these tools, and bring it into a single pane of glass where you can get an analysis of that data, it's not very helpful having it all out there, okay? Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that.
I saw in the paper there were the 4 big jobs that are going to be in the future. One of them was, remote control driving of cars and planes, as one example. But the other one was being, big data analysts.
Data scientists,
is the job of the future, and I sort of see that's sort of where accountants have got to really start looking into. So if you want to see what the future holds and what big data is, there's so many of these dashboards and that are coming through, and this is amazing, isn't it, Roland? Some of the stuff we've already pulled out. And
have it on your iPhone or your Android, your Windows phone, be walking around the place and be able to have a single pane of glass analysis of your business. I think it's very powerful. Then we're going to be talking about headsets after that. I'm sure you guys are listening to us and thinking, it's a decent quality, and we're using headsets that are designed with active noise cancellation, and a lot of smart software built into the headset. If you're sitting on this call and thinking, "Whoa, the connectivity on this call isn't great," it's probably because you're using the $5 headset that came from your that came with your phone or something like that. Okay, so there's special headsets that are designed for using as telephony and conferencing devices, and we're going to be looking at a few of those. Then we've got some self-sustainability.
And just a real quick thing, Roland. There is going to be a prize, so we're going to be giving away a headset on the call. So, if you can come up, that's in a couple of weeks. And Roland, self-sustainability, just finish us off, and then we'll close the call.
We're going to wrap up here, guys, but, it's all about empowering people, empowering you to find the solutions, empowering you to be more productive with the tools that you've got, especially around Office 365 and cloud. We want you to get the best out of your subscription and the best out of these tools. And to that end, we're going to be tenacious in training and upskilling you as one global collaborative workforce. So thank you very much for joining us on the call today, guys. We look forward to doing this on a more regular basis. Any feedback is welcome, so please send it through to sales or support at Hub One, and we'll take it from there. Okay.
Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll catch you later.
Thanks a lot. Goodbye.